right, good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
William Montanez.
Mr. Montanez, you here again in 2021 CF 14372, as well as 2021 CF 14370, 2021 CF 14371 AO. I was trying to see if the state of Florida had any new information as to the burglary counts.
Your Honor, state's just asking that we move this to the end of session. I was able to obtain the detective's investigation reports. However, they're not sworn, so I cannot present them to this court. However, she did submit a supplement with the same information. However, with Orange County records, her supervisor has to approve it before we're allowed to obtain it. She did get her supervisor to approve it this morning.
Okay.
So she's trying to obtain it from records to email it to me. So I am intending to have it today. If she cannot get it from records, so we just ask for a 5-minute recess to call records and get it. But I do intend that we will have those supplements today to support these charges.
We'll call Mr. Montez again at the end of the docket and see if we can get that information. All right, Espinoza. Oh, no, we're doing, we said arraignments, correct?
Arraignments, yes, sir.
All right. Switch that screen.
Mr. Muhammad is medical.
1 second.
Okay.
Good morning, sir. Would you raise your right hand to be sworn? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Okay, put your hand down. Please state your full name and date of birth.
You said Muhammad?
Yes, who do you, I have,
I have Victor Bardelis.
okay, he's medical.
He's already represented by the Public Defender's Office in this case, 2021 MM 7204AL.
Enter plea of not guilty and waive the appearance, Your Honor.
All right, what's up for pretrial Division 81?
Division 81 pretrial conference, December the 10th at 9 a.m. in 4E.
Noah Cunningham is medical.
Next person I have, Cunningham was canceled. So,
Counsel.
yep. And then, yep. Samuel Hunter is my next person.
Thank you, sir. That's all we have for today. Are we due?
Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Samuel Hunter.
Mr. Hunter, you're here in case 2021 MM 6883 AO. You've been charged by information with the crime of petty theft. That's a second-degree misdemeanor, punishable up to 60 days in a county jail and a $500 fine. Say, was there an offer to resolve this case this morning?
Yes, Your Honor. The offer conveyed was an adjudication, credit time served, no return to the target located at 120 West Grant Street, and cost of investigation to Orlando Police Department in the amount of $79.02.
You're on probation, right? Your Honor, he's on probation, so I would just ask that you appoint us and so we can enter a plea of not
This
guilty.
occurred while he was on probation?
I'm not sure, Your Honor. We're not assigned to this case.
Mr. Hunter, you know when you started your probation? What month
I believe it was July the 15th.
of this year?
Mm-hmm.
So this offense predates his probation is April 1st of this year. Ms. George,
Yes, sir.
this offense predates when he started his probation.
Mhm.
So April 1st was the date of this of the offense.
Okay. I couldn't see, Your Honor, because we weren't appointed.
That's fine. That's why I asked him. He's like,
So that's fine, Your Honor.
all right, Mr. Hunter, did you want to accept that offer from the state of Florida?
Yes, sir.
Is it yes or no?
Oh,
You don't have to. I'm just asking if you want to. Yes or no?
You say the offer one more time.
It's an adjudication, credit time served, no return, and cost of investigation of $79.02.
yes.
All right. Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, you put your hand down. Sir, you're here in case 2021 MM 6883 AO, charged with petty theft with That's a second-degree misdemeanor, punishable to 60 days in the county jail and a $500 fine. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
You understand that a conviction in this case can be used at a later date to enhance your sentencing up to a third-degree felony.
Yes, sir.
You want to enter a plea of guilty or no contest to this charge?
No contest.
You understand by entering a plea of no contest, you can be waiving all the rights that are on that plea form that you're about to sign.
Yes, sir.
You understand you have the right to have a trial and to have an attorney appointed, challenge the state's evidence, those kind of things?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, medication?
No, sir.
Have you now or in the past been diagnosed with a mental health illness?
No, sir.
Has anybody forced, threatened, or coerced you to enter this plea?
No, sir.
You understand by entering this plea, if you're not a United States citizen, it could subject you to deportation.
Repeat that one more time.
You understand if you're not a United States citizen, you can't be deported from this country by entering this plea.
Yes.
I did have an opportunity to view your court file in this case. I did find a factual basis contained therein. I want to accept your plea of no contest, find that your plea is freely and voluntarily entered. I want to adjudicate you guilty of the charge. I don't think you have any credit time served in this case. What, 1 day you gonna say? Well, 1 day credit, 1 day credit time served. Court costs in this case are $270, the cost of prosecution, $273. There's a cost of investigation into Orlando Police Department of $79.02. I want to make all these costs payable directly to the clerk within 2 years of today's date. You have 30 days from today's date to appeal your judgment and sentence in writing. You have a great day, sir. Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
My name is Sheridan Mitchell.
Ms. Mitchell, you're here in case 2021 MM 7198AO on charge of trespass on property trespass on property other than a structure conveyance. That's a first-degree misdemeanor. Maximum penalties are 1 year in the county jail and a $1,000 fine. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Ms. George, what plea do you want to enter on behalf of Ms. Mitchell?
I can't hear you,
The
sir.
offer from the state, Your Honor, is an adjudication of guilt, credit time served, no return to Advent Health South, absent a medical emergency, and cost of investigation in the amount of $54.02 to the Orlando Police Department. Ms. Mitchell would like to enter a plea of no contest and accept the state's offer.
Yes.
Ms. Mitchell, can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you'll give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
You put your hand down. Ma'am, the charge you're facing again is a first-degree misdemeanor, punishable up to 1 year in the county jail and a $1,000 fine. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Ms. George told me that you want to enter a plea of no contest. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
You also want to enter a plea of no contest, you're going to waive all the rights outlined on the plea form that's in front of you.
I don't hear in here, and
Do you understand that you're going to waive your rights to have all the rights on the plea form in front of you?
yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, sir.
Have you now or in the past been diagnosed with a mental health illness?
No, sir.
Has anybody forced, threatened, or coerced you to enter this plea?
No, sir.
You also about entering this plea if you're not a United States citizen, it could subject you to deportation.
Yes, sir.
All right, ma'am. I did review the party stipulates on a factual basis.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
I did have an opportunity as well to review your court file. In this case, I did find a factual basis contained therein. I'm going to accept your plea of no contest, find that your plea is freely and voluntarily entered. I'm going to adjudicate you guilty of the charge. Give you credit for the 31 days you spent in the Orange County Jail with 31 days credit time served. Court costs of prosecution in this case are $273. There's a $50 public defender application fee and a $50 public defender lien. There's also $59, is it 54 or 59?
5402.
$54 and 2 cents to the Orlando Police Department at cost of investigation.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to bind all these costs for payment. I'm going to give you 3 years from today's date to pay that money directly to the clerk in full. You have 30 days from today's date to appeal this judgment sentence in writing. You have a great day, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
So I have this one, but it's not on my screen. I got too many calendars, man. So why can't you put this, where do I find it then? What is now my arraignment, the in-jail arraignment thing? It's not there. I'm gonna use Orlando traffic? Okay, I see, okay, all right. The Spanish, right now? You can do them now. Just, you gotta tell me who they are. Or tell Madam Clerk who they are. Does he require an interpreter? Oh. Willingham. Wait, I have one more arraignment.
Yeah. Willingham, Your Honor, is. I have him as surety bond.
All right.
If she got willing.
So Mr. Willingham bonded?
I have him as surety bond.
All right. We'll give him a out of custody arraignment date.
It's just not
I mean, he needs somebody needs to set an out of custody arraignment date for him. I'm telling you should, Mr. George, your office is appointed to represent him in that case, 2021 CT 5060 AO. So I don't know if you want to waive his arraignment because he probably could resolve this case at arraignment. So we can give him an out of custody arraignment date. Yep. Yeah, because he failed to appear at arraignment, and that's how he got. No, we're gonna set him for an arraignment date so he can resolve this case. So regular out of custody arraignment date. I think they're still back using. They're still doing it inside the courtrooms, I think. So Judge Cameron. Yep, Judge Cameron. It'll be Judge Gibson if it's next year. Yeah.
have it.
All right, so now we want to do their own.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, no, I got it.
Good morning, Your Honor. This is Alan Figueroa, Senior Certified Spanish Code Interpreter, already sworn.
Mr. Figueroa, good morning. This is Judge Bain calling from the BRC. I have a defendant in my lectern. Could you see if you can make a connection with him?
Sí. The defendant can hear me, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Salomón de Leon.
Mr. De Leon, you're here in case 2010 CT 4495 AO and 2010 CT 4494 AO. Both of those were failure to appear. And 4495, your bond is 5,000, and 4494, your bond is 10,000. You already appointed to represent. The PD is already appointed to represent you in this case. Was there an offer to resolve these two cases?
Offer to resolve all four of his, Your Honor.
Okay.
And 4495, it was an adjudication credit time served on the no valid. On the 4494, it was DUI mens. On the new law, no valid, it was an adjudication credit time served. And then in his alias case, the 13632, it was an adjudication credit time served on the valid.
Sí.
And Ms. George, you have a chance to discuss that with Mr. DeLeon?
No, Your Honor. He only speaks Spanish, so I was not able to speak with him in regards to the offer.
The people that come do your forms, they don't help you speak with the defendants?
They do, but sometimes we don't. The Spanish person will come extra early in the morning.
Okay.
So when I'm already down here, they're already gone. They come early and speak and then leave.
I was only asking because I've run into them in an elevator and
Yes, sir.
we've had I know they speak Spanish because we've had a conversation about.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. DeLeon, I'm going to stay your bonds as set in this case. If you bond out, you need to keep in contact with your attorney. You need to show up at your court dates.
Your Honor, do you know that he has 4 cases?
Pero
Because you only
¿cuánto,
mentioned 2.
cuánto
For the
es
record.
el mínimo que-
Yeah.
Okay, but how much,
what's that,
how
what's that,
much
what's
is
that?
the bond?
Let me pull it up. Well, for two of them, one is 5,000, the other one is 10,000. Let me get back to.
Ajá, 15 mil dólares.
So 15,000?
I only have 2 cases on my. I only have the 2010 cases on my screen. The 2010 cases.
He has a 2009 case and he has the new law.
Yeah. Right.
Sí, yo quiero.
All right, Mr. DeLeon, you also seem to have 2009 CT 13632 AO. You have a failure to appear warrant in that case. Your bond in that case is $10,000. You also have 2021 CT 1144 AE for no valid driver's license. Your bond in that case is $500. Condition of the bond in that case, you not operate a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. So you got 10, 10, 5. So $25,500 in total bonds. Okay.
¿Eso es lo que debo pagar ahora?
No, we're appointing the public defender to represent him in all his cases.
Sí.
All right. When you get out, if you do bond out, on your paperwork will be a court date. You need to make sure you call the number on the green sheet of paper right there that Ms. George circled for you. Keep in contact with your attorney. If you fail to miss another court date, I'm quite sure the judge is not going to let you back out. Have a great day, sir. All right. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Julio Irán Castro. Julio Irán Castro Feus.
Julio Irán Castro.
So Castro, you're here in case 2021 CT 7380AL on charge of driving while license suspended. I did review the charging affidavit in your case, did find probable cause for your arrest. So there's an offer to resolve this case.
Yes, Your Honor, an adjudication credit time served.
Mr. Castro, did you want to accept the state's offer of an adjudication of guilt credit time served in this case?
Yes.
Yes.
Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're giving this matters the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Or you can put your hand down, sir. Sir, the charge you're facing is a second-degree misdemeanor. It's punishable up to 60 days in the county jail and a $500 fine. Do you understand that?
Understood.
¿Qué es lo que tengo que hacer? ¿60 días en la cárcel?
So is that what I have to do? 60 days in jail?
Nope. I said the maximum penalties are 60 days in the county jail and a $500 fine. Your offer was a credit time served offer. I had to make sure you understand what the maximum penalties are. So do you understand what the maximum penalties are?
Entendido.
Understood.
You understand also that conviction in this case can be used at a later date to enhance your sentencing up to a third-degree felony.
Entendido.
Understood.
Entonces hoy salgo.
So I'll be out today?
Unless you have another case holding you, yes. Do you want to enter a plea of guilty or no contest to resolve this case?
Contest. No contest.
No contest.
You understand by entering a plea of no contest, you're going to waive all the rights or outlined on the plea form that's in front of you.
I understand. Entendido.
Understood.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No.
No.
Have you now or in the past been diagnosed with a mental health illness?
No.
No.
Has anybody forced, threatened, or coerced you to enter this plea?
No.
No.
You understand by entering this plea, if you're not a United States citizen, could subject you to deportation from this country.
Yes.
I've had the opportunity to view your charging affidavit as well as your citation. In this case, I did find a factual basis contained therein for the purposes of your plea. I'll accept your plea of no contest. I'll adjudicate you, finding your plea is freely and voluntarily entered. I'll adjudicate you guilty of the charge. I'll give you credit for the 2 days you spent in Orange County Jail with 2 days credit time served. The court costs and costs of prosecution in this case are $306. I'll give you 1 year from today's date to pay that money directly to the clerk in full. You have 30 days from today's date to appeal your judgment and sentence in writing. You understand?
Entendido.
Understood.
You have a great day, sir.
That's all we have of Spanish,
All right.
Your Honor.
Mr. Figueroa, could you do me a favor and make an announcement in the gallery and make sure that no one else needs your services?
Absolutely. A las personas que están en el público, ¿hay alguien que necesita el intérprete de español?
I see no hands waving at me, so have a great day, Mr. Figueroa.
Thank you. You as well, Your Honor.
All right. All right. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Colonio Espinosa Jr.
Mr. Espinoza, here in case 2021 CF 1444469AO on charge of aggravated assault. I did review the charging affidavit in your case, did find probable cause for your arrest. I'm going to set your bond in this case in the amount of $5,000. Condition of your bond is that you have no contact with the victim in this case. You need to make sure you maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. And I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. You are out on bond in case 2021 CF 6615AO for another charge of aggravated assault. The court finding probable cause that you committed a new law offense while you're out on bond. In that case, it's going to revoke the bond. Set new bond at $0. Going to appoint, I think you already had the public defender appointed to represent you in that matter. You have a great day, sir. Actually, you're a private attorney, I believe.
Yes.
Have a great day. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Morning. Sling Stella Forbes Jr.
Mr. Forbes, you're here in case 2021 CF 14477 AO on charge of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, attempted robbery with a weapon, and aggravated assault with a weapon. They reviewed the charging affidavit in your case, did find probable cause for your arrest. Will set your bond in count 1 in the amount of $5,000. Count 2, 150, count 3, 150. Condition of your bond, no contact with the victims in these cases. No return to the scene of the location where this incident occurred. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons and firearms you have need to be shown to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You also may not possess or consume any drugs or alcohol while you're out on release in this case. You're subject to random drug and alcohol testing in this matter. You want to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. You not want a public defender? Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
You have money to hire your own attorney?
Represent myself.
Say again?
I will represent myself, sir.
Have you represented yourself before in a criminal case?
Yes, sir.
When was the last time you did that?
Today is gonna be the first time.
All right, so today is the first time. Do you have any legal experience?
Yes.
You have,
The thing I would like to do is put in the motion today for a speedy trial upon demand. Let the
well,
record reflect
if you would know that, if you were a part of the legal community, you understand this speedy trial has not officially been reinstated since we're under COVID emergency orders.
Speedy trial, sir.
You can't demand a speedy trial until your case is actually filed. So all things that you don't know that you don't have experience with. So you sure you don't want an attorney?
I just want to put in the motion for speedy
You,
trial upon demand.
once again,
I have to do the paperwork.
also you have to know that they have to be in writing.
Defenders, no, sir. I don't want to, no, sir.
A lot of things you don't see not to know.
Public defender office.
All right, Mr. Forbes, you are also out on bond in case 2021 MM 694AW. And the court found a probable cause you committed a new law offense while you're out on bond in that case. It's going to revoke that bond, set your bond at $0 in that matter. This you have no contact with the victims in that matter. You have a great day, sir. No PD?
What about? Sheriff always cut my glasses. I can't even see. Ones that arrest me,
All right.
very expensive glasses.
The order, no contact says you may not have any contact with the person that
Sheriff.
I'm telling you what the order says that you're signing. No contact with the victims. No in-person contact, no third-party contact, no contact of any form. May not be within 500 feet of the residence of these victims. May not be within 500 places of employment of the victims. May not be within 500 feet of the vehicle owned by these victims. May have no contact of any form. You understand?
I understand what you said the first time.
All
They're in my house. They're staying in my house right now.
Okay.
Where you at, sir?
No. Well, I think it was in that old case. But... All right, have a great day, sir. Yes. All right, over to the right. Thank you, sir. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Good morning, John Johnson, Jr.
Okay. Mr. Johnson, you're here in case 2021 CF 14461AO on charge of aggravated assault with a firearm, domestic violence, and possession of ammunition by a convicted felon. They reviewed the charging affidavit in your case, did find probable cause for your arrest. They'll set your bond in count 1 in the amount of $3,000, count 2 count 1 $3,000, count 2 $1,000. Condition of your bond be subject to pretrial release supervision. You have no contact with the victims in this case. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be shown to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You also need to maintain a separate residence from these victims. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location.
Yes, sir.
You may not possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You'll be subject to random drug and alcohol testing in this case. Yes, Ms. George.
Your Honor, what was count 1? I'm sorry.
It was $3,000 count 1, $1,000 count 2.
Thank you.
Is that it? Thank you, sir.
All right, have a great day. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Richard Lamb.
Mr. Lamb, you're here in case 2021 CF 144460AO on charge of sexual battery on a person over the age of 18 by a person over the age of 18 years old. They reviewed the charging affidavit in your case. They find, in fact, a probable cause for your arrest in this matter. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name and spell your last name?
Hello, my name is Christopher Feliciano, and it's Feliciano.
And can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're giving this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir. Can you tell me how you know Mr. Lamb?
We met on Grindr on October 1st.
All right. And do you want to have contact with him while this case is pending?
No, sir.
All right. Did drugs or alcohol play a role in this incident?
No, sir.
Say, do you have any questions for the witness?
No, Your Honor.
So then I'm going to appoint a public defender to represent you in this matter. Ms. George, do you have any questions for the witness?
No, Your Honor, no questions.
Mr. Lamb, I'm going to set your bond in this matter amount of $25,000, condition of the bond. You have no contact with the victim in this case. Now to return to the scene of the location of the incident where the incident occurred. You may not. So this happened at his house, correct?
No, my house.
Your house? Okay, that's what I thought. Okay. You may not return to the scene of the incident. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons and firearms you have need to be shown to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You have any questions about your no contact order, sir?
No, Your Honor, I understand.
All right. You have a great day, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. Have a great day, sir.
Thank you.
Davis. Has he been screened for mental health pretrial release before? All right. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Oh, it's Junior Lewis, but I got a Junio.
Okay. Say again?
It's Junio Lewis.
All right. So you're here in case 2021 CF 14478AO on charge of throwing a missile into an occupied vehicle, battery, domestic violence, and criminal mischief of $1,000 or more. They reviewed the charging affidavit in your case, did find probable cause for your arrest. Ms. Lewis, I want to place you on mental health pretrial release in this case. If you don't qualify for mental health pretrial release, I'm going to set your bond to count one amount of $1,000, count two $500, and count three $500. Condition of the bonds and your pretrial release that you have no contact with the victim in this case. You need to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you may have. May not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons and firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. Now we're going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. Not going to take any action on your out on bond cases at this time. You have a great day, sir. Morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Tanku Shafiq Tanku Azman.
Sir, you're here in case 2021 CF 14471AO on charge of aggravated assault, domestic violence. They reviewed the charging affidavit. Your case did find probable cause for your arrest. Ms. Davis, has anybody looked at him for a Baker Act?
Not to my knowledge, Your Honor.
Does anybody intend to do that? Just asking.
I wouldn't know anything with medical because it's medical.
Yeah, I was wanting to know if this, based on what I read, I was surprised to see him here. Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Janine Abines,
Can you spell your last name?
Abines.
Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you'll give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, you can put your hand down. Can you tell me how you know? Say your last name,
Tanku Azman.
Tikamazawa. There you go. I'm sorry if I butchered. I apologize. Can you tell me how you know him?
He's my husband.
And do you want to have contact with him while this case is pending?
I'm sorry.
You want to have contact with him while this case is pending.
Okay.
I can't hear you.
Yes.
Has there been any domestic violence in the past?
No.
Did drugs or alcohol play a role in this incident?
No.
Does he see a mental health counselor on a regular basis?
No.
Is this the first time an incident like this has occurred?
Yes, sir.
State on point the public, I'm sorry, on point the public defender represent the defendant in this case. State, you have any questions for the witness?
No, Your Honor.
And Ms. George.
No, Your Honor.
Can somebody tell me how you guys feel about contact?
Your Honor, at this time, state would ask for no contact given the allegations within the affidavit, given the victim's safety as well as the children's safety. I know DCF was called and I believe they're also looking into this incident, but given the allegations, I believe a cooling off period will be good for both the victim here as well as the children.
Your Honor, given the victim's testimony here today that she wants contact, I would ask for a no hostile contact order. He has no criminal history. This has never occurred before. If you are inclined to give him a no contact order for a cooling off period, I would at least ask that they be allowed. You would order that he's not allowed to live, but is still able to have at least telephone contact with the victim. They maintain separate residences, Your Honor, given that this has not occurred before, and they are in fact married.
Yeah. Definitely like a little bit more information before I'm comfortable with contact right now. All right, sir, I'm going to set your bond in this matter an amount. He doesn't qualify.
Yeah.
All right, sir, I'm going to set your bond in this matter amount of $2,500. It's going to come with pretrial release supervision. You have no contact with the victims in this case. You're not allowed, may not possess any weapons or firearms. Weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You must maintain a separate residence. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. I'm already appointed the public defender to represent you in this case. Do you have any questions about your no contact order, sir?
No contact for 24 hours, you say?
No, no contact until somebody like me tells you you can have contact. All right, do you understand that? All right, so a judge tells you you can have contact, no contact. Do you understand? You got to answer out loud.
I'm sorry.
You have to answer me out loud. You understand?
I understand.
All right. Have a great day, sir. Have a great day, ma'am.
Thank you.
Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Latina Young.
Ms. Young, you're here in case 2021 CF 14479 AO on charge of aggravated battery, alternatively domestic violence, and possession of methamphetamine. Did review your charging affidavit in your case, did find probable cause for your arrest. We'll set your bond in count 1 in the amount of $2,000, count 2, $150. Condition of your bond is that you have no contact with the victim in this case, maintain a separate residence from this victim, give you one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You also may not possess or consume any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription, subject to random drug and alcohol testing in this case. Want to appoint the public defender to represent you. You have a great day, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Yes, good morning. My name is Roy Lee Brown.
Mr. Brown, you here in case 2021 MM7906 AO on the charge of battery domestic violence. I did review the charging affidavit in your case, did find probable cause for your arrest. He doesn't qualify? You joined the allergy game too? You okay?
No, I'm good, thank you, I'm sorry.
All right. Mr. Brown will set your bond amount of $1,000, going to cover pretrial release supervision. You'd have no contact with the victim in this case. You want to maintain a separate residence from this victim. Give you one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I want to appoint a public defender to represent you in this case. Yes, ma'am. 1,000 PTR, yeah. All right, do you have any questions about your no contact order, sir?
Yeah, can I speak with the public defender?
Yes, sir. Have a great day, sir. Yep. Do you have a question for me or you?
No, sir.
All right, have a great day.
As well. Thank you.
All right, can I get Mr. Thompson too?
Again?
Okay, Mr. Thompson as well.
Thompson?
Yeah, Ms. Thompson, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Thomas, I'm sorry, Thomas, apologize. Thomas, apologize. That was me. No. I need, yep. All right. Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Nigel Buckingham.
Ma'am, you're here in case 2021 MM7902AO, as well as 2021 MO1290AO. One is battery, dating violence, other count as a misdemeanor ordinance violation for disorderly conduct. Ma'am, can you tell me your name?
Alexis Thomas.
Ms. Thomas, you are here in case 2021 MM7901AO on charges, the same charges, battery, dating violence, and in 2021 MO1291AO on charges of disorderly conduct. Reviewed both your charging affidavits, did find probable cause for your arrest as to those two charges. Alrighty. Let's start with Ms. Buckingham. Ms. Buckingham, can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you'll give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
All right, you put your hand down, ma'am. Can you tell me how you know who's the person to your left?
My girlfriend.
And do you want to have contact with her while this case is pending?
Do I want contact?
Yes, ma'am. Has there been previous instances of domestic violence between you all in the past?
No.
Other than alcohol, was there any other drugs related, like involved in this matter?
No.
All right, Ms. Thomas, can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you'll give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, can you tell me who the person is standing to your right?
My girlfriend.
And do you want to have contact with her while this case is pending?
Yes, sir.
Has there been previous instances of domestic violence between you all in the past?
No, sir.
Other than alcohol, was there any other substance involved in this case?
No, sir.
And neither one of them would qualify for pretrial release?
Yes, I qualify.
All right. All right, bonds in everybody's cases are going to be the same, and conditions are going to be the same. In 2021 MM7902 AO, bond's gonna be $200. 2021 MO190 AO, they'll all be pretrial release plus pretrial release. Bond is gonna be $200. It's gonna be pretrial release in that case, with the conditions I'm gonna lay out in a moment. In 2021 MM7901 AO, bond in that case $200. 2021 MO1290991 AO, bond is gonna be $200. All cases be subject to pretrial release and bond. First condition, you may not possess any weapons or firearms, either one of you. Any weapons or firearms either one of you own need to be told to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You also may not possess or consume any drugs or alcohol while you're out on release in this case. You don't have any prior drug history, so I'm not going to impose drug testing on you. But don't make me not regret that. Now, the most important thing is you may not have any hostile contact with each other. No hostile contact means this: you all are in a relationship. Things come up that are cause conflicts in relationships. That's a natural thing that happens between two people. However, those conflicts, those arguments cannot become threatening. There can be no violence between you two. There can be no abusive language used between the both of you. Because if either one of you violates my orders, or either one of you calls the police, or somebody that sees, in this case, sees or hears you all arguing, calls law enforcement, you both will be arrested for violating my orders. You both will spend a lot of time here in the Orange County Jail on a no bond status. You understand me?
Yes, sir.
Once I appoint a public defender to represent you both at this time. Now, that's going to change because you are entitled to independent counsel to represent you. So somebody's going to get a public defender. Somebody's going to get something called regional conflict counsel, which is another attorney service that is going for indigent people. You have a great day. Yes. All right. Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Cheryl Green.
Ms. Green, you're here in case 2021 MM7895AO on a violation of domestic violence injunction. They reviewed the charging affidavit in your case, did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond in this matter amount $3,000. It's going to come with pretrial release supervision. You have no contact with the victim in this case. You are you are to abide by the injunction 2021 DR 61650 in this case. You also not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be shown to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Do you have any questions about your injunction?
No,
Do you have
sir.
any questions about your no contact order?
No, sir.
All right, you have a great day, ma'am. Need this?
All right.
Your Honor, I have Mr. Camus
Yes.
Bruce. We're showing that he's at the hospital, but he has a victim.
All right. This is 2021 MM7893AO. Mr. Camus, I'm going to appoint a public defender to represent him.
I'll waive the appearance, Your Honor.
All right. They reviewed his charging affidavit in that case, did find probable cause for the charge of battery, domestic violence. Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name and spell your last name?
Eva Stone Camus, Kamis.
All right, ma'am. Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right. Can you tell me how you know Mr. Camus?
Mr. Camus is my husband.
All right. Do you want to have contact with Mr. Camus while this case is pending?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has there been previous instances of domestic violence between you all in the past?
No, Your Honor.
Did drugs or alcohol play a role in this incident?
Your Honor, before Mr. Camus got to the hotel room, he was at a place called Wingstop, and when I called him, a gentleman answered his phone. When Mr. Camus came back, he was acting delusional and unlike his behavior.
He gives it Buffalo Wild Wings. I don't think they serve liquor at Wingstop.
Wingstop, I don't know. It was across the street from where our hotel was.
Okay.
And he was agitated, delusional, and I don't know, I've tried to find out about my husband because they said he's in the hospital, and I didn't know if he was drugged there or what happened, but the incident that happened was unlike him. He was behaving erratical. And when I asked the police officer, he said that he had been drinking, but I asked him if there was drugs involved, and the officer was able to answer me that.
Well, it says you've been with him for 12 years. Were you with him with his prior cases in Texas?
Yes, we live in Dallas, Texas right now.
Right.
We were here for a business conference.
Well, I mean, it seems like he has prior DUIs and things out of Texas. Was it a similar experience or something else?
In Dallas, Texas, it was for DUI.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, does he have a problem with alcohol? Is what I'm trying to ascertain.
He doesn't drink during the week. He drinks socially.
We qualify this.
And can I find out about my husband? They won't let me know anything because I have no contact with him.
Well, yeah, because you're a domestic violence victim. Until I give you contact, you're not going to allow you to have contact. Ms. Davis. All right, Mr. Kamen's case is going to set bond in his case in the amount of $500. It's going to cover pretrial release supervision for order he have no hostile contact with Ms. Kamen, that he not possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. He was subject to random drug and alcohol testing. He may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms he has needs to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of his release. And I want to appoint the public defender to represent him at this time. And you could probably talk to people downstairs and they could give you further instructions, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, have a great day, ma'am. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Jack Martinez.
Mr. Martinez, you're here in case 2021 MM272AE on a charge of battery domestic violence. They review your charging affidavit in this case. Did find probable cause for your arrest. Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name and spell your last name?
Sir, Tammy Martinez, Martinez.
All right. And can you raise your right hand and be sworn in?
Yes.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
All right, ma'am. Can you tell me how you know Mr. Martinez?
It's my husband.
And do you want to have contact with him while this case is pending?
No contact, and if he needs to reach my attorney, divorce attorney, he has the number.
All right, so I'm guessing there's a previous divorce action in place
Yes, sir.
process? All right. You all have children in common?
No, sir.
All right. He doesn't qualify as well? All right. Mr. Martinez, I'm going to set your bond in this matter in the amount of $250. It's going to come with pretrial release supervision. You have no contact with the victim in this case. You all live separately?
Right now we do, yes.
All right. Does he have still personal things at your residence?
A little bit of clothes.
All right. Sir, will give you must maintain a separate residence. Give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that residence. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be shown to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. And ma'am, did drugs and alcohol play a role in this incident?
No, sir.
All right, you have a great day, sir. I'll appoint a public defender to represent you.
Excuse
Want to appoint a public defender to represent you at this time? You can always hire your own attorney later on.
Sign here.
Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Damon Streeter.
Streeter, you're here in case 2021 MM273AE on charge of battery domestic violence. They reviewed the charging affidavit in your case, did find probable cause for your arrest. Gonna set your bond in this matter in the amount of $500. It's gonna come with pretrial release supervision. You not have any contact with the victim in this case. You are to maintain a separate residence from this victim. Give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. And I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. Do you have any questions about the no contact order, sir?
No, sir.
All right, you have a great day.
Sir.
Morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Johanna Torres.
Storage, you're here in case 2021 MM 7907 AO on charge of battery domestic violence. They reviewed the charging affidavit in your case, did find probable cause for your arrest. I'm going to set your bond in this matter in the amount of $250. It's going to come with pretrial release supervision. You have no contact with the victim in this case. You are to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. You have a great day, ma'am. Sorry, you have any questions about your no contact order?
If I own the residence, like, would he have to move out, or would I have to move out, or would like?
I can't give you legal advice as to that. All I can say is that if he is still at the residence, then you cannot be at the residence. If he moves out, then you can go home.
Can we move to end of session?
Second.
Like the end. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Young Mr. Duvall, his mental health.
All right, this is the Hillsborough. Mr. Duvall's here on the Hillsborough County warrant. Case will be 2021 CT 45317. Bond in this case is $5,000. Bond's gonna remain as set. I'm gonna appoint the public defender to represent him until we get him over to Hillsborough County. Yeah. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Man, it's Juan Ingram.
Mr. Ingram, you here in the Osceola County case 2021 CF 618 AO on a failure to appear warrant. Judge in that case set your bond at no bond in that case. We've already had a public defender represent. I want to appoint a public defender to represent you if you already have one. You have a great day, sir. All right. Do we need a recess for a little bit? Anybody need a break?
I already spoke to the.
Well, I was gonna say we're at the breaking point. Does anybody need Madam Clerk says she needs a restroom, 10 minutes, 15? All right, we'll take a 10-minute recess just to make sure everybody get a stretch break. We'll come back at 10:25. Come on, sir, can you tell me your name?
Seth Meanick.
Sir, you're here in case 2021 MM7827 AO on charge of pay theft for a prior theft conviction. Did review the charging affidavit in your case. Did find probable cause for your arrest. Say was an offer to resolve this case.
No, Your Honor, as it's otherwise enhanceable.
All right, sir, I'm gonna stay your bond in this matter with $500 for it. Stay your bond at $500, condition of the bond, no return to the scene of the location, no contact with any victims or witnesses. You have a great day, sir. What's our point of public defender representative? Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Allison Stappa.
Ma'am, we here in case 2021 MM7898 AO on charge of petty theft. Did review the charging affidavit in your case. Did find probable cause for your arrest. Say was there an offer to resolve this case.
Not at this time, Your Honor.
All right, ma'am, I'm gonna stay your bond in this matter in amount of $500. Condition of the bond is you have no contact with any victims or witnesses from this case. You cannot return to the scene of the location where this incident occurred. I'm gonna appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. You have a great day, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Was it Washington?
Mr. Washington, you're here in case 2021 MM7899 AO on charge of trespass on property after warning. Did review the charging affidavit in your case. Did find probable cause for your arrest. Say it was an offer to resolve this case.
Yes, Your Honor. The offer conveyed was an adjudication of credit time served and no return to the Motel 6.
All right. Sir, did you want to accept that offer from the state of Florida?
I didn't hear it all.
Did you want to accept the adjudication of guilt, credit for the time you spent in the Orange County Jail? There's court costs and cost of prosecution in this case. Do you want to accept that offer?
Yes, sir.
Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you'll give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, you put your hand down, sir. Sir, here on that charge of trespass on property after warning, that is a first-degree misdemeanor, punishable up to 1 year in the county jail and a $1,000 fine. It's the maximum penalty, so you understand? Do you understand the maximum penalty is 1 year in the county jail, $1,000 fine?
Okay.
I can't hear you.
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you want to enter a plea of guilty or no contest to resolve this case today?
No contest.
You understand by entering a plea of no contest, you're going to waive all the rights outlined on the plea form that's in front of you.
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, and medication?
No, sir.
Have you now or in the past been diagnosed with a mental health illness?
No, sir.
Has anybody forced, threatened, or coerced you to enter this plea?
No, sir.
You understand by entering this plea if you're not a United States citizen, it could subject you to deportation. You understand if you're not a United States citizen, you can be deported from this country based on this plea.
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
I did have an opportunity to review your charging affidavit in this case. I did find a factual basis for your plea in this matter. Want to accept your plea of no contest, finds your plea is freely and voluntarily entered. Will adjudicate you guilty of the charge. You'll be credited for the 2 days you spent in the Orange County Jail with 2 days credit time served. Court calls the cost of prosecution in this case of $273. I'll give you 1 year from today's date to pay that money directly to the clerk in full. You have 30 days from today's date to appeal your judgment and sentence in writing. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, have a great day, sir. All right, good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Elijah.
Full name.
Elijah Wells.
Mr. Wells, you're here in case 2021 MM7903 AO on charge of carrying a concealed weapon. You reviewed the charging affidavit in your case, did find probable cause for your arrest. Actually, 1 second.
There's no offer at this time, Your Honor, due to being a firearm offense.
I thought, as I was wondering, like the charge is. All right, sir, I'm going to Release you on pretrial release in this case. Condition of your pretrial release: you may not possess any weapons or firearms. Weapons or firearms you have need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You may not have any contact with any co-defendants in this case. That means Mr. Bush. You may not possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. Be subject to random drug and alcohol testing at your expense. Your pretrial release. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You have a great day, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Horace Brown.
Mr. Brown, you here in case 2021 MO 1287 AO on charge of camping. They reviewed the charging affidavit in your case, did find probable cause for your arrest. The city of Orlando is offering you a withhold of adjudication of guilt and court costs. Do you want to accept that offer from the city?
Yes.
Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you'll give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
You put your hand down, sir. The charge of camping, sir, is a second-degree misdemeanor. It's punishable up to 60 days in the county jail and a $500 fine. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Do you want to enter a plea of guilty or no contest to resolve this case?
No contest.
You understand by entering a plea of no contest, you waive all the rights outlined on the plea form.
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, sir.
Have you now or in the past been diagnosed with a mental health illness?
No, sir.
Has anybody forced, threatened, or coerced you to enter this plea?
No, sir.
You understand by entering this plea if you're not a United States citizen, it could subject you to deportation.
I understand.
I did have an opportunity to review your charging affidavit, did find a factual basis contained therein, going to accept your plea of no contest, finds your plea is freely and voluntarily entered, going to withhold adjudication of guilt, give you credit for the 2 days you spent in the Orange County Jail with 2 days credit time served. Court costs in this case are $223. I'll give you 1 year from today's date to pay that money directly to the clerk in full. You have 30 days from today's date to appeal your judgment and sentence in writing. You have a great day, sir. All right. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
James Hart.
Mr. Hart, you're here in case 2021 MO 1288 AO on charge of camping. I did review the charging affidavit, did find probable cause for your arrest. The city of Orlando is offering you a withhold of adjudication of guilt and court costs. Do you want to accept the offer from the city?
He's talking to
Yes. Yes, Your Honor.
All right, can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you'll give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir, the charge of camping is a second-degree misdemeanor. It's punishable up to 60 days in the county jail and a $500 fine. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you want to enter a plea of guilty or no contest to resolve this case?
No contest.
You understand by entering a plea of no contest, you're going to be waiving all the rights outlined in the plea form in front of you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, medication?
No, Your Honor.
Have you now or in the past been diagnosed with a mental health illness?
No, Your Honor.
Has anybody forced, threatened, or coerced you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
You understand by entering this plea if you're not a United States citizen, it could subject you to deportation.
Yes, Your Honor.
They have opportunity to review your charging affidavit in your case. Did find a factual basis contained therein. Going to accept your plea of no contest. Finds your plea is freely and voluntarily entered. Going to withhold adjudication of guilt. Give you credit for the 2 days you spent in Orange County Jail with 2 days credit time served. Court calls the cost of prosecution in this case. Court costs in this case of $223. I'll give you 1 year from today's date to pay that money directly to the clerk in full. You have 30 days from today's date to appeal your judgment and sentence in writing. You have a great day there, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Jerry Young.
Mr. Young, you're here in case 2021 MO 1289 AO on a charge of disorderly conduct. They reviewed the charging affidavit in your case, did find probable cause for your arrest. City of Orlando is offering you a withhold of adjudication of guilt and court costs to resolve your case. Do you want to accept that offer from the city?
Yes.
All right, sir, can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, sir. The charge of disorderly conduct is second-degree misdemeanor. It's punishable up to 60 days in the county jail and a $500 fine. Do you understand? 60 days county jail, $500 fine is the maximum penalties. Do you understand? I can't hear you.
Yes.
Do you want to enter a plea of guilty or no contest to resolve this case?
No contest.
You understand, by entering a plea of no contest, you'll be waiving all the rights outlined on the plea form in front of you. Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No.
Have you now or in the past been diagnosed with a mental health illness? No. Has anybody forced, threatened, or coerced you to enter this plea?
No.
You understand, by entering this plea, if you're not a United States citizen, it could subject you to deportation. Harry,
No.
you understand, if you're not a United States citizen, you can be deported from this country?
Yes, I do understand.
All right. I did have an opportunity to review a charging affidavit in this case. I did find a factual basis contained therein. Going to accept your plea of no contest, find your plea is freely and voluntarily entered. Going to withhold adjudication of guilt. Give you credit for the 2 days you spent in the Orange County Jail with 2 days credit time served. Court costs, the cost of prosecution in this case, court costs in this case is $223. We'll give you 1 year from today's date to pay that money directly to the clerk in full. You have 30 days from today's date to appeal your judgment and sentence in writing. You have a great day, sir. Have a great day, sir. All right, good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name? Oh, sorry.
Christopher Chadkar.
What happened to Raymond Bowers?
He bonded, Your Honor. I didn't,
Okay.
kill bonded also.
All right, Mr. Carr, are you here in case 2021 CF 14402 AO on charges finding probable cause signed by a judge? A judge signing a warrant finding probable cause for the charges of burglary or conveyance, attempted burglary or conveyance in 3 counts, and petty theft in 1 count. Going to stay your bonds as set in the warrant, $3,500 in count 1, 150, 150, 150, and 150. Condition on your bond, no return to the scene of the location where the incident occurred. No contact with any victims or witnesses from this case. May not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be sold to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You also may not possess or consume any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You're subject to random drug and alcohol testing in this case. Going to appoint the public defender to represent you. This is George. You got something to tell me? No, talking to Ms. George.
Oh, he had a question.
Okay. All right. Have a great day, sir. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Richard Carroll.
Mr. Carroll, you here in case 2021 CF 14475 AO on charge of aggravated battery with a deadly weapon and felony criminal mischief. They reviewed the charging affidavit in your case, did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to stay your bonds as set in your warrant, your charging affidavit, $3,500 in count 1, $1,000 in count 2. Condition on your bond is you not have any contact with any victims or witnesses from this case. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be shown to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. As well as you're not allowed to possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. We're going to appoint a public defender to represent you in this matter. You have a great day, sir. No, it was road rage. Don't drive on the street. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Jonathan DeJesus.
Mr. DeJesus, you're here in case 2021 CF 14467 AO on a charge of aggravated assault with a firearm. 1 second. Did review the charging affidavit in your case and did find probable cause for your arrest. All right, so I'm gonna set your bond, in this case, amount of $3,000, conditioning your bond that you have no contact with the victim in this case.
Your Honor, state's only concern is the proximity. I believe the defendant lives at 4434.
It lives in a below apartment, that's what it was. As I was looking at, I was trying to, there were no contact order says you can't be within 500 feet of her. That's what in the statute, when we say no contact. So you may have to speak with the leasing agency to see if they can move you to a different apartment, a different building or something like that. You've been out possessing any weapons or firearms. Weapons and firearms you have need to be shown to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I was going to say there's no return. I'll give him one-time return with law enforcement. Yeah. Just in case they don't, so keep them covered. I'm going to appoint a public defender to represent you in this case, sir. Have a great day. Good afternoon, sir. Sorry, good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Anthony Malik.
Sir, you're here in case 2021 CF 14476 AO on charge of possession of cocaine with intent to sell and deliver, possession of oxycodone, and possession of cannabis with intent to sell and deliver. They reviewed a charging affidavit in this case, did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond account 1 in amount of $2,500. The other remaining counts $150 on each count. Condition your bonds be subject to pretrial release supervision. Not allowed to possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. And be subject to random drug and alcohol testing in this case. No weapons, no firearms. The weapons and firearms you have need to be told to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I want to appoint a public defender to represent you. You have a great day, sir. All right. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Cleveland Mayfield.
I can't hear you.
Cleveland Mayfield.
Mr. Mayfield, you're here in case 2021 CF 14474 AO on charge of possession of MDMA or ecstasy and possession of drug paraphernalia. View the charging affidavit in your case, did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond account 1 $500, count 2 $100. Condition of the bond, no drugs or alcohol without valid prescription, subject to random drug and alcohol testing. I'm going to appoint a public defender to represent you. You have a great day, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name? Sorry, good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Andre Pickard.
Sir, you're here in case 2021 CF 14455 AO on charge of aggravated battery causing great bodily harm with a firearm. They reviewed the charging affidavit in your case, did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond in this matter in the amount of $50,000. Condition on your bond that you're not allowed to have any contact with the victim in this case. Not allowed to return to the scene of the location of this incident. May have any contact with any witnesses from this case. May not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I want to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. You have a great day, sir. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Mikey Reed, sir.
Mr. Reed, you're here in case 2021 CF 5939AO on a failure to appear warrant. Bond is $1,000. Bonds will remain as set. Going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You already had a public defender. Check. All right, you already had a public defender representing you in this case. You have a great day, sir. All right. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Louis Rivera.
Mr. Rivera, you're here in case 2021 MO 1290AO on charges of possession of cocaine with intent to sell and deliver. Possession, 2021 MO 1291AO on a charge of open container. They reviewed charging affidavit in that case, did find probable cause for your arrest. You also arrested in 2021 CF 14472AO on charges of possession of cocaine within 1,000 feet of a place of worship. Possession of cannabis with intent, possession of cocaine with intent to sell and deliver within 1,000 feet of a place of worship. Possession of cannabis with intent to sell and deliver, and introduction of contraband to a county detention facility. And Ms. George wants to tell me something.
Yes, Your Honor. Again, for the possession with intent to sell or deliver, understanding that I would argue no PC. All he had was a small amount of money and the drugs. And at the time that he was arrested, he was in fact smoking the drugs. So I would argue that there is no PC for the intent to sell or deliver. However, understanding that
was he smoking MDMA? Was he smoking
the MDMA wasn't registered. They tested.
Well, they claimed it was MDMA and cannabis in the blunt that they didn't register. So he wasn't smoking crack. It was a crack pipe.
Correct, Your Honor. However, again, other than the small amounts of money and having possession of those items, I would argue that other than that, there is no other items that were found in his possession. He didn't have a scale. I would just argue no intent, no PC for the intent to sell or deliver. However, if Your Honor is inclined to find PC for the intent to sell, I just ask that you take that into consideration. And also look at his history. I do not see any other conviction for intent to sell or deliver in his history or arrest, Your Honor.
All right. Like I was telling Mr. Brands yesterday, you gotta also look at, when you're making this argument about the intent to sell and deliver, you gotta look at the substances being sold. So the substance being sold is crack cocaine. Crack cocaine is not sold in baggies. It's usually packaged in a tube and it's sold by rock. So, or it could be packaged in a tube, rock, bag, or just in their hands, pockets. You sell by rock. Take one rock, cut it, keep breaking it down till you get to the number that you need. An amount of drugs that you want to sell to that person. They want a $10 rock, $40 rock, whatever it's going to be.
Don't say anything. Your Honor, I understand. However,
I thought you were going to talk about this place of worship situation. That was what I was thinking.
Yes, Your Honor.
I mean, it wasn't, he didn't voluntarily come within 1,000 feet of a place of worship.
Okay. Again, I would just ask that you take that in consideration with setting his bond amount, Your Honor.
All right. Say, what are your response?
Your Honor, if you're both otherwise already found PC, State will have no argument as to the intent. State was going to argue that the cannabis was in several baggies, which indicates an intent to sell. And in addition to the argument that you made regarding that crack cocaine is usually sold by rock, and he did have multiple pieces of the crack cocaine. However, it was small pieces. I believe it weighed approximately 0.5 grams. However, that allegedly is more than personal use amount, even though he was arguably smoking something when law enforcement arrived on scene. In regards to the within 1,000 feet of the place of worship. I believe law enforcement said that he was there well within the 1,000 feet, 552 feet of one church, 486 feet of another church, 685 of another, 802 of another. I believe there was 2 additional that were also within 1,000 feet. And I don't believe he moved during that period from when law enforcement saw him as he was sitting on the sidewalk. When law enforcement made contact, so state would just ask that you find PC for all. But I understand counsel's argument and would have no objection to a lower bond.
All right, tell me about these out on bond cases. I see you was ROR. Was there 33 motions that were filed, granted, and you still haven't filed information on those cases?
Yes, Judge, 1 second. In 7578, the possession of a firearm by a convicted felon and resisting without. The arrest was back in June. And it was an ROR subject to a 33-day motion.
You still haven't filed on the case from June of this year?
No, Your Honor. And in regards to 9268, the arrest was in August of possession of MDMA with intent. And it was on ROR, also subject to a 33-day motion in September. And an information still has not been filed. I don't see FDLE uploaded for that one either.
All right, did I talk, Mr. Rivera, did you? All right, that's your ordinance violation case. The city of Orlando is offering a withhold adjudication of guilt and court costs. You want to resolve that case? That's an open container case.
Say that again.
You have an open container case with the city of Orlando. Do you want to resolve that case? Their offer is a withhold adjudication of guilt and court costs. You want to take that offer? All right, can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, put your hand down. Sir, you here in 2021 MO 1292 AO on a charge of open container. That's a second-degree misdemeanor. Punishable up to 60 days in the county jail and a $500 fine. You understand? The maximum penalties are 60 days in the county jail and a $500 fine. You understand? I can't hear you.
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you want to enter a plea of guilty or no contest to that charge?
No content.
You understand by entering a plea of no contest, you can waive all the rights outlined on the plea form that's in front of you.
Yes.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, medication? Are you under the influence of any? Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, medication?
No.
You understand by entering a plea? Sorry. Has anybody forced, threatened, or coerced you to enter this plea?
Sir.
Have you now or in the past been diagnosed with a mental health illness? You understand by entering this plea, if you're not a United States citizen, it could subject you to deportation. They have opportunity to review your charging affidavit in your case. Did find probable cause for your, did find a factual basis for entering of your plea. Going to accept your plea of no contest. Finds your plea is freely and voluntarily entered. Going to withhold adjudication of guilt. Give you credit for the 2 days you spent in the Orange County Jail with 2 days credit time served. Court calls of prosecution in this case are, court costs in this case are $223. Give you 1 year from today's date to pay that money directly to the clerk in full. You have 30 days from today's date to appeal your judgment sentence in writing. As of 2021 CF 14472AO, the court called to find probable cause for his arrest as to all charges. Going to set bond in count 1, amount of $7,500. Count 2, 150. Count 3, 150. Condition of the bond: no drugs or alcohol without valid prescription. No return to the scene of the location where you were arrested. You will be subject to random drug and alcohol testing in this matter. I'm not going to take any action as to the other cases because the state has not filed information in those cases. I'll point the public defender representative, Mr. Rivera. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Alberto Sanchez.
Mr. Sanchez, you're here in case 2021 CF 14468AL on charge of possession of cocaine and possession of drug paraphernalia. They reviewed the charging affidavit. In this case, did find probable cause for your arrest or release you on pretrial release. In this case, conditions of your pretrial release is that you're not allowed to possess or consume any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You'll be subject to random drug and alcohol testing through pretrial release. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You have a great day, sir.
Thank you.
We're looking at his, he has a lot of stuff going on. Yeah. That cannabis is on his 4370. Which is the cannabis, he has.
Okay, so that's what
It's a different case that I guess he's being held on.
All right. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Raul Santana.
Mr. Santana, you here in case 2021 CF 14470AO on charge of possession of fentanyl and possession of drug paraphernalia.
Yes.
They reviewed the charging affidavit in your case, did find probable cause for your arrest. And sir, are you still at this Raymond Street address?
Yeah.
What's that mean?
39 Peace Corps, Poinciana.
You saying in Poinciana now?
Yeah.
Was that information provided earlier?
Yes.
Yes, 439.
He doesn't qualify. Because I don't know if he said he couldn't verify something. He got to change your address for him. Chris George. You need to file change of address.
For that R&R, whatever they say.
Well, problem with that is when you have a list of addresses Raymond Street, you tell me you live in Poinciana, so you need to change your address first. And I'm also thinking about putting you on pretrial release if Miss Davis. All right, first thing, you gotta change. Tell me what you gotta change your address. All right, Mr. Santana, I'm going to place you on pretrial release in this case. Condition of your pretrial release is that you're not allowed to possess or consume any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You're subject to random drug testing in this case. If you're having an issue with narcotics or with drug-related, some like dependency issues, you need to talk to Judge Lattimore about drug court. Try to help you get out of this cycle that you're in, all right? I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You have a great day, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, have a great day.
Yes.
All right.
Hey,
Come on, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Yes, DeAndre Terrell.
Mr. Terrell, you here in case 2021 CF 14454AO on charge of possession of cocaine with intent to sell and deliver with a firearm, possession of pressed land with intent to sell and deliver, possession of oxycodone, carrying a concealed firearm, possession of drug paraphernalia, and possession of cocaine with intent to sell and deliver 1,000 feet of a place of worship. They have found probable cause for all your offenses except for this carrying a concealed firearm charge.
Yeah.
Because they could see it when they walked up to the car. So it wasn't concealed.
I believe there were two, Your Honor. There was one in the middle console, the purple Taurus, and then there was one in the back seat wrapped in a shirt.
Yeah, the one in the center console, it was inside the center console, right? So it wasn't, it was secured then, right?
Mm-hmm.
Securely encased.
Yeah.
Well, you stop. Would it be, like, you can have a firearm in your vehicle that's securely encased. It means inside a zipped or closed snap container. And the other gun was, they can see it. They saw the magazine when they walked right up to the car. So it wasn't, nobody was hidden really from anybody. The reason why they pulled the guns out.
Okay, Your Honor.
All right, that's a count one. Gonna set your bond. I want to set your bond amount of $15,000. Count two, 150. Count three, 150. Count four, RR. Count five, $100. Count six, 150. Condition of your bond is that you're not allowed to possess or consume any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. May not possess any weapons or firearms. Weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. Want to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. Okay, you got 150% count six. Now, all this, though, it may be still true, but I don't know if it's true or not, but
I'm a college boy, man.
I mean, I understand that. You may want to just,
Yeah.
not get shot. All right.
shot
Have a great day. That's what I'm saying.
Your Honor, Mr. Tidd, his behavior.
All right, 2021 CF 14473 AO. Today? He acting up today?
Huh?
He's acting up today?
He just bit somebody, officer's hand earlier, yeah.
You want to appoint a public defender to represent him in this case?
I waive the appearance, Your Honor.
All right, you find probable cause for his arrest for a battery on law enforcement officer. You're gonna set bond in count one and $1,000. Remaining counts, ROR. Condition not return to the scene of the location where the incident occurred.
Oh.
But that bond may be going away. Depending on if you guys file charges against him.
Arrest?
Is an ROR on the corrections officer as well? It was 4 for law enforcement, 1 for corrections officer.
Now set 150 on the corrections. I forgot about he continued on after he got here. All right. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Carlos Torres Cardona.
Mr. Torres Cardona, you're here in case 2021 CF 14466 AO on charge of possession of fentanyl. They reviewed the charging affidavit in your case. Did find probable cause for your arrest. All right. And all right, Mr. Torres Cardona, I'm going to put you on pretrial release in this case. Condition your pretrial release not allowed to possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You're subject to RAM drug and alcohol testing in this case. Going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. You also as well may want to talk to Judge Lattimore down the hall about drug court to get you out of this cycle that you're in.
Thank you.
All right.
I got one question. So what is the procedures of this? So I don't violate.
Pretrial release will explain to you. Obviously, don't violate the law. Don't use any illegal drugs. Don't get popped for a positive drug test. And you should be copacetic with your division judge. But in the long term, you're going to have to address whatever's going on. Otherwise, you're going to do what I call the in and out life sentence. You're going to spend more time of your life inside here than outside in the world. So, yeah.
I have been. Thank you so much.
All right. Have a great day.
I really appreciate this. Thank you.
All righty. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
My name is Albert Charles Valdez III.
Sir, you're here in case 2021 CF 5130 AO on failure to appear warrant. Judge signed your warrant, set your bond at no bond. Your bond remain at no bond in this case. You already appointed the public defender. Have a great day, sir.
May I say something? No.
You talk to your attorney, and then you tell me views against you and state. Let's see. What? Oh, that's Ms. Davis, Ms. Villanova.
I'm sorry?
Villalon, Vaisha Villalon.
What's the booking number?
Baisha filling on. Is anybody know about it?
210-26000.
Bonded. Thank you. You're welcome.
I recall back Mr. Montanez in his three cases, 2021 CF 14372, 2021 CF 14370, 2021 CF 14371. I've been provided supplemental information. I'm going to take a moment to review, and we will address his case. All right, Mr. Montanez, as to 2021 CF 143472, after reviewing supplemental information, court did find probable cause for your charges of attempted armed burglary of a conveyance and attempted burglary of conveyance. In 2021 CF 14370, after reviewing supplemental information in that case, did find probable cause for burglary after armed burglary of a conveyance with a firearm and burglary of conveyance. And in 2021 CF 1431 AO, court did find probable cause for armed burglary of conveyance in count 1 and burglary of a conveyance. State, what are you asking? Yes, go ahead.
I believe, Your Honor, we were going to argue no PC to
Which one?
the armed burglary of a conveyance. In 2021 CF 14371, there is no information within the affidavit that stated when he broke into the other vehicles that he had a firearm.
But if I read all the affidavits, the ones in there together, including the short ones they filed, he was found with the firearm on his possession. He was found, and then the timeline is that the car he broke into first was the one with the gun. I don't think he had to put it down, store it. Because it was videotaped.
Your Honor,
car to car, correct?
Your Honor, there's no information for us to know if he had that firearm while he broke into the other vehicles. So we would argue no PC to the armed burglary of a conveyance in that case.
I mean, I'm guessing as a reasonable person reading all these affidavits together, where would the firearm go? I guess is where I'm trying to understand your argument. Where did it go?
Your Honor, I don't know where he would go. However, if we just look at the four corners of the arrest affidavit for the armed burglary of a conveyance in 2021 CF 1437180, there's no information to indicate that when he did break into that vehicle, he had the firearm on him. He could have put the firearm down, went back and got the firearm. We don't know, Your Honor, based on the information that was provided by law enforcement, which is why we would argue there is no PC based on the four corners of that affidavit, the supplemental report that was provided.
All right, in the course review of the affidavits, the car that had the firearm was the first one broken into in the timeline, and then subsequently other vehicles were broken into. The firearm was still in his possession at the time of his arrest. So I don't know how else to really look at it any other way than the firearm was with him the whole time. I mean, there was no allegations that he was carrying some kind of bag or something that was not later found, or some other kind of
I understand.
something that would like tell me that the firearm was not still with him at the time of the other burglaries. But it's still a question for the state of Florida. What are you asking I do as to those 2 counts of armed burglary of a conveyance with a firearm?
Your Honor, given that they are PBL states asking that you hold no bond, I understand they're unoccupied conveyances, so I'd understand if the court use its discretion to grant bond, but this time state is requesting no bond on those 2 counts.
All right, and count 2021 CF 1, 2, 14372 AO. 2021 CF 14372 AO. Count one, court's gonna set bond in the amount of $10,000. Count two, 150, addition of the bond, no weapons or firearms. Weapons or firearms you have need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release, as well as you're not allowed to return to the scene of the location, no contact with any victims or witnesses from that case. In 2021 CF 14370 AO, a court identified probable cause on Friday for grand theft of a firearm. I think I said bond at 150, 2,000, correct? So that's it. On count one. In 2021 CF 14370 AO, as a life offense. The court is going to use its discretion and set bond in that case. Going to set bond in the amount of $25,000. Count three in the amount of $150. Condition of the bond that you're not allowed to possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. May have any contact with any victims or witnesses from that case, not allowed to return to the scene of the location where the incident occurred. In 2021 CF 14371 AO, court find probable cause in count one for armed burglary of a conveyance with a firearm, which is a life offense. The court's going to use its discretion in that case, set bond in the amount of $50,000. Condition of the bond is you're not allowed to possess, and 150 in count two. Condition of the bond, the weapons and firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You also may not have any contact with any victims or witnesses from that case, and no longer return to the location where that incident occurred. Already appointed the public defender to represent you in all your cases. You have a great day, sir. Yes, please. And state, did I miss anything?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. George, did I miss anything?
No, Your Honor.